Today is September 30 on afternoon time, and this is the cut I noticed yesterday or day before yesterday. So yeah, so they had stopped giving me these kind of cuts, but I think I had a conversation with my father how they used to give all kind of, you know, bodily harms to me, from electric shock to shooting needle pains and cuts and this and that. So sometimes whenever I say something, these people want to really act on it, like just for synchronization's purpose. That's it. And so the cuts that they had stopped giving me, it kind of appeared again. So this is left hand, and they want to say a few or something. That is when they give me these kind of cuts on my middle finger. This is my middle finger, right? So yeah. Like I said, ever since 2018, 19 onwards, maybe, they had stopped giving me these cuts, or was it 20 onwards? Yeah, they literally had stopped giving me cuts on my body. So yeah, that showed up, and then that was a weird cut even on my thumb, right there, like a slanting cut over there. So yeah, these kind of weird cuts would show up, and they just want to say something. Now yesterday, I was, after my family had finished preparing the meal, I was preparing my meal, and I had worn gloves, and I was just doing a little wipe down with the Clorox wipes, of all the refrigerator, the handles and the containers that I will use to cook the food, from the that were in the refrigerator. So I was just doing, and then wiping the counter, like the counter space near the stove and all that. And then I just had a thought, okay, it's the last thing, like I'm gonna wipe down the switch, and there was a cupboard in the laundry room, and after that was the last wipe, and I threw that Clorox wipe away. So I don't know, they always want to make it sure you don't use that wipe from kitchen to laundry room, right? It's like a cross contamination, but I wasn't to use back in the kitchen, right? That Clorox wipe, I threw it away. But still, these people wanted to make issues. So I think the very first thing they did was, I don't know, they pulled my eardrum or give me electric shock, or they did something on the right side, and I knew they already wanted to horn. And so I started telling them, like, seriously, you use your brains. I know what kind of brain is working. When I watched this Ragnarok Netflix series that is based on Norse mythology, whoever was screenwriter, director, all these people, they just came up with BS end of the 3-season episode. The end was so bizarre, so stupid, that entire shows, whoever saw the series, made no sense. Like, it was all a waste of time. And I'm like, they're just here to do mind programming of people. That chosen ones are crazy people, okay? And I have told many times, like, we people are like chosen ones or targeted individuals or star seeds, and that is all these people can think of when they are targeting us, or when they are into their demonic world, worshiping Satan and Lucifer and all that. So anyways, so we know what kind of IQ level they have. So when I went to IMDb and reviews, and people were literally making mockery of these directors and screenwriters and whoever is coming up with this kind of stupid stories, stupid endings, that made no sense at all. And they are not realizing that they are doing it just to put out some agendas out there of new world order, of homosexuality, of chosen ones are crazy, of the reptilian beings that are out here, Illuminati, Freemasonic people, how they are like reptilians, and of a lot of other stuff they were showing in there. I'm not gonna say a lot, but anyways, so we know their mentality. So I'm like, okay, so you want to make sure this Clorox wipe I used, which I threw it away after I used it at the laundry room, like a cabinet. It was like a little wipe down I did. I just kind of threw it away. And then I washed my gloves with soap and water, okay, which I usually do. Doesn't matter if I'm wearing gloves, if I'm not wearing gloves, I always wash my hands with soap and water before I start cooking, actual cooking. So I don't know, they all wanted to make issue, and I knew that they will again induce fever in me. Just like, in my previous video, I said how they induce fever for, again, the other issue they wanted to make back then. Oh, you touched here and then you're cooking. Oh, here, we're going to give you induced fever. Oh, you cooked this kind of food and it was bad, or whatever they want to say. Oh, here, we're going to give you induced fever. So it wasn't the, like I said in my previous video, how I went to the restroom or in the restaurant, and how I touched like my purse, and then I did not disinfect the purse. So they wanted to now make issue. Oh, now you touched the purse, and now you touched this take home box, and now, oh, we're gonna give you induced fever. And now they started to give me shooting needle pain in the right side of my abdomen as I'm speaking this. Since morning they haven't done anything. So if they are giving me this little teeny tiny pain even in the right side, so you know that they are synchronizing right now, because they are watching, or whatever I see and whatever I say, they can hear very clearly on some computer screen, because my brain is attached to some computer through the brain computer interface. So anyways, this is how they do induced fever. So it could be by witchcraft, or as I showed you in the previous article, how it was mentioned that wire directed energy weapons or EMP pulse attacks or something, they have a way to mimic the diseases. And the diseases could be anything: cancer, heart disease, heart palpitations, heart attacks, or just when induced, like how they do me, give me like induced shooting. So shooting needle pains are like induced stones, as if somebody has stones, and how that kind of hurts. It's like a mimicking that kind of act. So yeah, they can induce fever also, either via these, I don't know, EMP pulse attacks, or by witchcraft. Somehow they are doing it. But yeah, I can tell it's induced fever, because my fever will last only for few hours. It's very minor, and it never actually develops into actual fever. And I know that they have already made issue about something, because anytime I think something, they want to hone into my thinking, and that is when they want to do something about it. So if I'm thinking, oh look, I just touched my purse, and oh, I'm just gonna wash my hands and not disinfect my purse. Oh, okay, fine, you thought that. Okay, now I'm gonna give you induced fever. Oh, you touched that and you wash your hands, you created that thought. Okay, we're gonna hone into that, we're gonna give you induced fever. So after all that BS, oh, and even I didn't mention in my previous video, when I was speaking with my father, letting him know about all these targeting and torture, induced dreams and everything. So I was actually talking about sexual dreams that they've given to me. So that very night, on the same night, they gave me induced dreams, but it was all these dreams play like movies in my head. It's not a actual dream. Actual dreams are like little different. This plays like a movie. I cannot explain these differences, but I can tell the difference. And obviously, no, even a psycho person, schizophrenic person will not start having these kind of dreams. It's not normal. So everything, like I said, they have done so far is all for synchronization, super interrogation purpose, dictation purpose, control purpose, slavery, humiliation. Same thing that Montauk.net guy talks about. Same thing Richard Boylan talks about. Same thing Tanut Sudan talks about. Synchronizations, humiliation, slavery, guilt to take my Lucia energy to give it to their reptilians and greys. Anyways, so the same night they gave me a dream where the two strangers are having, this intercourse, and then, but those two strangers were in some lady's lap, and my mother, we were watching that thing, but it was like on some screen. It's very bizarre thing. It wasn't a TV. It was some kind of screen. It's weird. But these kind of humiliation and weird things that these people do with me, and how I've already shown in the previous article. It was a guy who had mentioned about all these technologies that how they do pre-packaged programming of the dreams, and like what dreams they want to induce into the target's head while they are sleeping. So yeah, all these are induced, I can tell. Now for yesterday, they want to make issue about something, so especially when I go to wash that particular utensil, they give me like little vertigo, like, hey, why you cook this, or whatever issue they want to make. Okay. So they gave me all these are induced vertigos. I don't have any kind of problems. Okay. I can tell because they have programmed me for certain things, right? So initially when they used to use a vertigo, like whenever my mother-in-law used to go cook, initially when they moved down with us, and if I never used to allow her to like cook, like I did everything by myself, even their food I used to cook, So once, initially when she started to cook by her, like, her own recipe, she would like to cook, right? So then when I go to wash that particular utensil, they'll give me like vertigo. Oh, look, you let your mother-in-law cook. So like, we're going to give you vertigo. She's not supposed to cook. Like she's old or whatever issue they want to make. My mother-in-law doesn't have any kind of vertigo or anything, okay? But they want to make issue, same thing, slavery purpose. It's mainly slavery, dictation, control. And as Kanye West said, that they can control all these different celebrities in Hollywood, but they cannot control me. Now, Kanye West himself was saying a script which was given by these very Illuminati people. So when he was already under control and saying this thing, then who was he referring to? He was talking in reference to somebody, and that somebody is mainly all these starseeds who are awakening, who are coming out of this matrix, who are not coming in control of this matrix. And these people are trying to control these TIs or starseeds who are going out of control. Out of control in the sense, or awakening, basically, that's what I mean. And here comes the sirens, okay? Oh, hello, can you just start the sirens? Because she's just now talking about the matrix and coming out of matrix and all these Kanye West stuff, and so anyways. So anyways, then what else did they do here? Oh yeah, for the past 2 days they have been pulling my right eardrum very lightly, but they have been pulling it. So for every single thing, like, they'll keep pulling my right eardrum. Okay, I'm not gonna sit and explain every single thing I do. Oh, I did this, so that they did this. Oh, I did this, so they did this, for dictation purpose and super interrogation purpose. Now I'm not gonna sit and do all that. Well, what I'll say is, day before yesterday, when the moment I sat down to watch TV, they started to give me poking, like shooting pain on my back, okay, like abdomen side, but it's like on my lower back, okay. This is the other thing they do. It was absolutely pin drop silence since morning, but you see how much of the ambulance sirens they start. So talk about pre-packaged dreams, talk about the sexual thing that they gave, or talk about Kanye West and the Matrix, and how we are awakening, or how we are not being able to come under control, and these people cannot take all that, and that is how they start the sirens. Oh, don't speak up, don't say that, all that, right? Okay, anyways, let's talk about I was sitting in the couch, and so if they don't want me to sit down on the couch, the moment I sat down, they started to give me that, it was kind of twitch, or like a poking pain. Like, it's hard to even explain all this, but they immediately start to like kind of like, it kind of feels like it's somebody's like poking you, like like this, kind of hitting you But it's like even your muscles, I don't know, it's hard to even explain like how all these symptoms are. But the moment like I'll get up and then like they will stop, and so I know they all they want is control. Oh, obey, right? You might have seen 1984's Orwell. Was that George Orwell or that guy, right? Obey. It was all mind programming was going on in their movies. Control, obey, right? And so many, even in these recent movies I see, they have mentioned like obey. So that's what it is. They want star seeds to be under their control, and somehow they are not able to control or something. So it's like I have to do opposite of what they tell me to do. So like I said, so if they want to hone into that Clorox thing, oh, now from kitchen you went to the laundry room and that was the last part that I used and I immediately threw it away. I didn't use that thing, but still they want to hone into that. Oh no, you can't go from kitchen to laundry room. That's it. That's the end of it. So here we're gonna give you induced fever. That's it. Oh, you're gonna sit down on the couch to watch something. Oh, here we're gonna now start poking you. No, you don't sit down. So they went on doing all this poking thing until I started a video on Illuminati, on Freemasons. Okay, so while this guy was explaining all about Illuminati and Freemasons and all those details, then they stopped. Oh, you're watching our stuff, our Illuminati and our Freemasonic stuff? Okay, you know what, then you're most welcome to watch it. Then it's fine, we don't mind. Okay, literally like they stopped poking me the moment I turned on that video, and I was like keenly listening to that. So this is what these people do. Okay, then that very day they were like giving me shooting needle pains in my abdomen, and so that entire day was about shooting needle pains. They figure out when they want to give me these shooting pains, but they were giving me abdomen and waist pains only when I was cooking something. So you see, they are not hitting my back now because I'm cooking. They want to make issue about something, so now they're hitting my abdomen, or they'll give me electric shock or pull my right eardrum, something like that. Oh, but the moment I go to sit down on the sofa, they've done this many times, they start to poke my back. Same shooting needle pain stuff. Yeah. So that BS I have to go through. Today they have been quiet. I don't know why. Maybe they have enough energy for their archons and gene demons, aliens, reptilians, whatever you want to call. So I don't know. They've been quiet today overall.